Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Bite-Sized Branding, where we unravel a topic in branding in 5 minutes or less. My name is Bernard from Ucidity.
My name is Grant Tom, and I'm known in the industry as a head fire starter.
Awesome, mate. Today, we're going to talk about an industry topic. Quite a few of our clients are in the not-for-profit space, and it's a space that we love to work in. But obviously, with this whole COVID time, and changes in people's economic position, charities have seen a big change in the dynamic in their space. So I thought we would unbundle that, have a look at what's going on in the not-for-profit space, and see if we can add a couple of ideas in there that might be helpful for people in the space. Awesome. I will kick off the timer and let's get cracking.
Let's get going. Good.
Awesome. Grant, give us a little bit of insight. What are you thinking about the not-for-profit space?
I think non-for-profit is one of the hardest spaces for someone to grow a business in because they do have limited resources. They have brand issues. They have a cause, and they're trying to get a team of volunteers to sort of commit and keep a brand standard alive. And I think that in itself is extremely hard. And at the end of the day, I often find that the brand and the message doesn't always represent sincerity. And that's where I think it's the hardest part, because they need that sincerity part with the view to get the contributions or the donations or the participation from a buy-in from people on the street, to that of businesses, to organizations, creating support. And I think that one of the things is that you got to think about is, who do you get to represent your business with the view to create funds? And I think things have changed dramatically in the last couple of years, especially in the digital space. But in the old days, when you used to have some people on the street collecting money, I think that's when things would go wrong, because you would just hire anyone who was willing for a couple of bucks to represent your brand, but they were scruffy, they had dirty clothes, they may have had a missed message on their t-shirt, whatever the case would be, and now they're trying to gain some money from you. I think those cause long-term damage to a brand.
Yeah, even today, you see them still on the street trying to spruik the message, and often they're wearing the brand shirt or whatever, but you can tell these people are not really associated with the brand. They've been hired by some external company just to walk out there with some tablets and try and spruik for cash, essentially. And yeah, I think from a brand consistency perspective, that can be damaging if you don't pick the right people. The people should live and breathe your brand. If they're not part of the business, they shouldn't really be representing it. They're the face of your business, essentially. We don't know the owner. We know this person who's interrupted me on the street, and the second thing is how clearly they can then convey that message. Do they actually bring it across with the right kind of positioning, the right kind of statement? And then
can they do it in 2 or 3 minutes? You're busy on the way to the train. Now they've got 2 minutes of your time. Do they really capture the educational value of that? I don't think so.
And that was going to be my next statement, is the value really there? Like, could you ever really turn that into a viable way of positioning your brand, and a way of trying to attract attention to that brand that feels trustworthy, that feels authentic, that feels sincere, that feels real to that brand? Let's talk about other channels then. If we're going to say that's not the best channel, and especially right now where people can't go out and handshake and talk face to face, what are some other channels we could probably think about that they could look at?
The one that comes to mind is a GoFundMe page. But a GoFundMe page is something that you've got to really have a good cause to have it digitally embedded as well as leveraged within that marketplace. And you need something that can cause viral response with the view to get participation. If it is just something that is just a little home project, it's really not going to get that kind of muscle. So you've really got to think of your message and your mission, very important, in one of those digital pages. And of course, then you've got to send out your connections.
Yeah, I like that. And there are quite a few GoFundMe style sites out there that allow kind of like a succinct way of reaching towards these charities and seeing what they're about, and then having the opportunity to send your funds, send charitable donations. And in saying that, I think for the amount of money you're likely spending on this outsourced function to do this face to face, is there a consideration for an ad spend in there? Could you take that money, put it towards a digital ad spend that could then lead a number of people towards the site? Now, if you target it correctly, you make it a very niche particular market that you want to go after. You're paying, a reasonable amount per click, but you're getting people clicking who actually care about the cause. So instead of sporadically trying to pull over people on the street saying, hopefully you have some money, can you listen to me for a minute? Because I'd love a donation. What if you reach people where they are? Right now they're in their homes. Most people are still in their homes. Maybe, half the number of people have now started going back to work, but still that face-to-face interaction is not going to happen. So could you align an ad spend? Where could you spend those funds?
I think spending that funds with the view to create education is phenomenal, but if you do it correctly, you have a campaign that can work 24 hours a day rather than a man on the streets is going to spend 2 hours. So I think you can be a lot more effective. It's all about the consistency. How can you put backup content to establish your campaign? I think is vital. I think you've got to go back to, you've got to know what your mission is, and you've got to understand what the vision is, and therefore put something constructive together in a digital way. I think this old method wasn't a successful method before.
Awesome, man. Well, that's our 5 minutes, and I think that was a perfect way of wrapping that up. Guys, hopefully we've shared some insights that are going to be helpful for you to continue to build your brands, especially if you're in that not-for-profit space. And if there is any way that we can help, please feel free to reach out, even just for advice or direction. We're always happy to kind of give that advice, especially for businesses that are trying to, help the world and benefit people out there. So, please reach out. And for all our other listeners, thank you again for tuning in. And please leave your feedback, messages, comments. And, as we always say, please give us a challenge. We're looking for more and more challenges. This one was a pretty challenging topic as well. Grant and I were sitting here kind of, tossing around some ideas of the best methodologies and what is and isn't really working. So we love these challenges. Please throw them our way, and we look forward to sharing with you on the next video.
Bernard, I think you've said it very, very well. I think that the most challenging subjects make the 5 minutes go a lot faster.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. But here's my point, and my final point to the whole session, is that any business can be marketed. Any business that has a challenge can be marketed. You just need to talk to professionals like ourselves or to that of our peers, with the view that anything can be attained and maintained with the view of creating an opportunity in the marketplace. So reach out. Talking's for free.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Catch you on the next video.
Cheers. Goodbye.